Hi there, I'm Sara Sheehan, and welcome to my podcast, Transformational Thinkers with Sara Sheehan. Today I'm speaking with Rashesh Doshi. Rashesh is the Managing Director of Talent Corner, HR Services Private Limited, a company he has led for over 2 decades. With more than 25,000 successful placements and a franchise model that spans across the country, Rashesh is not only a business leader, but also a thought leader who believes in building sustainable, people-centric systems. A Stanford Seed Transformation Program participant, a member of Ascent and EO forums, and a passionate advocate of mental wellness, Rashesh brings a unique blend of strategic thinking and emotional intelligence. Rashesh, welcome to the show. I'm so glad to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Excellent. I want to start with the remarkable growth of your company, Talent Corner. You've experienced tremendous growth. Can you paint a picture with words that defines your growth trajectory, including new franchisees, employees, and clients? I think that context would be really helpful.
Absolutely. So, Sarah, like you mentioned earlier, we've been in the business of recruitment, or what we call executive search, for close to 2 decades now. And over the last 2 decades, we have created a organization which has pivoted a couple of times. Now, imagine this: when we started off, we were just a 3 people organization back in 2004. And from 2004 till 2011, we grew on to become a 100 people plus organization. Now, that's when the change came, and the recession came into the world. And it's often said that necessity is the mother of all inventions. And that got us into one of the first franchise models in the recruitment industry, and definitely in India. It got us to think differently in terms of what we should do. And from 2011 till now, we have grown our franchise network with over 100 people who've onboarded us. Our team size, which was then 100 people, have now become a team size of close to 300 people across India. Now, what's more interesting is not just about how we've grown, but also about how our clients have grown. So, from a modest number of 73 odd clients that we used to serve back in 2011, today I'm very proud to say that we have been serving close to 4,000 clients. And to our good fortune and to the support of our franchise partners, we've closed now more than 30,000 positions across our client base. Our top line, incredibly, has grown more than 20 times in the last few years. And I think that the credit of all of this goes to the team and the franchise partners. So that's how Talent Corner has been on this beautiful journey of growth. And God willing, it should go in the right direction as we move forward as well.
That is remarkable. I love the story. I love hearing about the increase in clients. It's truly remarkable. 20 times top line revenue is wonderful. That's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you.
Excellent. And so how do you support new franchisees when they come on and agree to join?
Sure. So, I think the first thing that we trained ourselves to do is not call them as franchisees, but call them as partners. I think the minute you call them differently, you look at them differently, you invest a lot into them. So, our partners, as we may call them, we really, really go an extra mile in terms of doing whatever it takes to get them successful. An absolutely robust and a well planned training program is what is designed for them. And I'm very, very proud to say this, Sarah, that perhaps in India, it would be one of the best training programs which has been developed with experience, which actually practical insights in terms of what to do when. And I'm very, very proud of the team who's come across with this training program. So that's one aspect of how we support our franchise partners. We have a 27 member in-house team which is dedicatedly working towards supporting them. So imagine
Wow.
close to 100 plus partners and 27 people. So that's actually a ratio of 4:1 for the kind of support we are providing to our partners. So we just want to make sure that at any point of time they need even the slightest of help, we want to be available for them. The more interesting part, Sarah, is that our franchise partners are not involved in generating new business. And that's the remarkable difference in our model. Our franchise partners are actually focused on servicing. Yeah, here's the big change, right? So, as a servicing company, I truly believe that the heart of the business is not in getting new business, but taking care of the business that you've got, right?
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I've told my franchise partners not to focus on anything else, but only to take care of the clients that we've brought in for them. And
Mm-hmm.
that has been a remarkable journey. That's really helped us to grow leaps and bounds. We get 37% of our business from referrals. And that's a huge number for a service company.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone is really looking to see the kind of change we've made to the lives of people, they should see our website, our YouTube channel. You will hear
Mm-hmm.
of stories of people how they've really transformed their lives and become, and made it more meaningful. I think that's really what this incredible franchise model can talk about.
Mm-hmm. And so, do you have a significant business development team
Yes.
centrally located?
Yes, so we have our teams located in two places, one which is
Uh-huh.
in Mumbai in India and one which is in Pune. So we have a reasonably large team which focuses on that because we want to make sure that our franchise partners have more than enough business to serve on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm. That's really compelling and interesting. I love that you're being very creative around what your partners are doing, and it probably influences people to join because there's less fear. Sales is one of those things some people are scared of selling.
Entrepreneurship can be a very scary opportunity. People are usually scared to take up entrepreneurship because it comes with less predictability. But I think when you align with the right people, I think a lot of opportunities open up.
There you go. And so, Rashesh, you shared with me that you have been selected for Stanford's Seed Program and you're embarking on a tremendous and significant aspirational goal of expanding into 9 markets. Could you share your experience in working with Stanford and how they are supporting you in your transformational growth?
Sure. So, sir, I think for me, on the personal level, and for my team, the selection at Stanford for its Seed Transformation Program has been by far the biggest thing that has happened to us at Talent Corner. And I'm sure you can sense the excitement in my voice because,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much that has happened in the last 6 to 7 months that Stanford has come in. If I may say so, that there was a lot that we knew already about our business, but Stanford helped us learn a lot more that we didn't know. Their frameworks, their structure, the team, the way they get us to think about things that we're not really thinking about is just remarkable, right? It has brought the whole team together. It has got us, with a different set of adrenaline, and we are very pumped about this. And no, our visions have really broadened from a company
Mm-hmm.
which was only looking to be having a strong foot only in India. We are now exploring different markets, like I mentioned to you. We're actually very excited to look at developing markets, markets like the UAE, Sri Lanka, Africa, Vietnam, Philippines, Brazil are some of the markets that we've explored in the developing markets. Obviously, at any point of time, because business has to grow fast, you cannot miss out on the developed markets as well. The
Mm-hmm.
US, Europe, and Australia are also markets that we are working upon. And to our surprise, when we're doing a lot of research with them, we think that the opportunities are great because, like India, many of these markets have the desire for growth in terms of entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these markets have what we call the medium and small scale enterprises, which which actually increases the aspiration level of people to grow, and therefore presents to us a tremendous opportunity for growth ourselves. So these are the nine
Hmm.
markets that we are very closely already in conversations with to kind of grow. And hopefully, if all goes as per plan, this transformation that Stanford has been working with us on will really become the next big thing at Talent Corner.
Hmm. Tell us more about the plan and the timeline for achieving this aspirational goal.
So this is an audacious goal. So nine markets is not something that can happen in a jiffy.
It's not small,
Yeah, it's not small.
definitely aspirational. I love it. And it definitely is audacious.
Yes. And what the beauty of this is, Sarah, it's not something that I decided to get into these nine markets. It was my team who got back to me after their research work, after they interacted, with the Stanford framework. And they said, so this is the place where we need to work at. We need to go in these markets and explore because there's an opportunity for growth out here.
Hmm.
So we've given ourselves a realistic goal. We've said, okay, let's first understand how to get into one new market in the next financial year, right? And once we've understood how to get into a new market, then we can scale this up faster. So I'm not telling
Hmm.
you that I'm going to do it in the next 3 to 5 years because I know it's a next to impossible goal. But however, if in the next 7 to 10 years we would have a reasonable footprint in
Hmm.
these nine markets apart from India, I would be really happy. And if I were to give you a roadmap, I will tell you that we will first want to enter more into the developing markets than the developed markets,
Sure.
because I think that's where the opportunity will kind of become the much needed alpha.
That's very smart. And so essentially, you would look to go to Africa, UAE, Vietnam, some of these more developing markets first, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, the good
Okay,
news for you,
great.
for us, and everybody else is that we've already started getting some business from the UAE. We've already got a couple of business coming in from Philippines. We've already got some very good footprint in Africa. So I think the decision to get into this markets is getting more and more justified.
And so you're developing business relationships now, and you would essentially be landing servicing teams, correct?
Correct, correct.
That's very exciting and very, very smart and astute on your part. Rashesh, how are you helping clients set up their own back office operations in India?
Okay, so this is a very interesting thing that's happening in India now.
It's very interesting.
So, I'm going to use this terminology called the GCCs, which is called the Global
Sure.
Captive Centers. That's what the world is looking at.
Hmm.
For a good amount of time, it was only the really large companies which were looking to set up their back office based in India.
Of
The
course.
reason they were looking at that was because the talent was really good in India. We obviously, the price points is really on the lower side as compared to many international destinations. The real estate, of course, is a lot more cheaper. Technology comes with its own benefits. So therefore, only the large companies were looking at it. Now, here's what's happening, and what's really interesting is that even now that the mid-sized companies are looking at setting up a smaller but definitive office in India, right? And I'll give you an example. We've just completed an assignment for a manufacturing company based out of UK who has set up a 25 people setup in India, right?
Hmm.
And it's not a very elaborate setup. It's a small office here,
Hmm.
but that office is now taking care of its back end in terms of finances. They're taking care of taxation. They're taking care of logistics, and they're taking care of a part of the supply chain, right?
Excellent.
And I think that really helps because you can run the entire operations 24/7.
Hmm.
We're hoping that the team will scale up to close to 100 people in times to come, and a lot of the resources could be built here. And I'm very very hopeful that more of these global captive centers will come into India. And the best part of this is, and what's really interesting is, earlier on, all these opportunities used to come only to the big cities of India. So
Of
Mumbai,
course.
Bangalore, Hyderabad is where they used to come. Now it's no longer going to the big cities. It's actually going to the smaller towns, and
That's
which means
great.
employment is getting created across the board.
That is so, so great. And what I do love about it is that you are not a big four consulting firm. You are doing this and it's successful. And this is a huge disruptive thing that's happening. And I'm very excited to see what the future holds in this space.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm excited about it as well.
Excellent. Sometimes business growth and scaling can hinder the growth and development of people that are already in your organization. How are you balancing your desire to scale with the care for your partners and employees?
So that's an interesting question, and I like to go back to a lot of the learnings that I've had with Stanford recently.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that Stanford taught us was about the IKEA effect. What does the IKEA effect mean is that, when you go into IKEA and you pick up a piece of furniture and you build it together, there is very little chance that you're going to let it go, right? Versus something that you buy from the market. In a similar fashion, what we've done is we've got the entire team, including the franchise partners, play a part in this transformation journey. Instead of me leading it from the front, we've created a transformation team of 14 people, which are then liaising with the franchise partners to ensure that this entire journey, this entire transformation plan is well thought through, and everybody has their own contribution, has their own ownership in the plan. And I think that has really got everybody charged up, even though there is obviously a little bit of pressure, because when you go through that journey of growth, when you go through the journey of transformation, you will have a little bit of pressure. You will there will be a little discomfort, right? But I think when you do it together, it becomes so much more
Mm-hmm.
easier, because the responsibility is divided. Everybody's thinking, everybody feels that they're a part of the journey. And obviously, there is a term that we use at Talent Corner, which is not work life balance. I'm going to say this, which is not work life balance. We call it work life blend, which means that there are going to be times where you're working and your life will need to be given priority, your family needs to be given priority, and it's okay to take that break during the working hours and attend to that family. And when you believe that family is taken care of and you can
Mm-hmm.
get back to work, you get back to work. So a good example of this is that we have a lot of people who are moms and who need to be home to take care of their family. There are no questions asked in terms of what are their working hours, how many hours they're giving, when are they working. And this freedom of allowing them to choose when they work, how they work, as long as they get the job done, has really, really helped us to balance everybody's expectations and at the same time not kill our ambition for growth, right? So we haven't had any major challenge in terms of a burnout. We're very, very cautious about mental health. We want people to be happy. I'm very high on believing that people need to be healthy and happy. And even if we don't achieve a couple of goals, I'm okay with it,
Mm-hmm.
as long as my team is along with me in this journey moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's excellent. I did love learning in that answer that you have a 14-person transformation team. And so you dedicated resources to your transformation project.
Yeah, and I think that's what that decisions worked really well for me, because the more people that get involved, the higher the chances of getting things done.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. What are you learning right now, Rashesh?
So one of the things that Sarah I'm learning is learning to listen. I think in a world which is constantly talking, I'm trying to learn to listen a lot better. It's not easy. I must say this. It's not easy, because it's not about just just listening to the words, but also about understanding the emotions. And especially in a country like India, you really need to understand the emotion that the person has behind what they are saying. So the one thing that I'm learning is to listen. We I'm also learning to kind of trust my team. This has been a journey that I've been at for a very long period of time, and I want to trust them more. And I think the dividends are getting paid for that. I can see my team doing
Mm-hmm.
well. I definitely read a lot, so I like reading books, whether it's around growth, money, networking, or just people, right? And I like spending a lot of time reading about what people are and how they behave. So that's what I'm learning today.
Listening will always pay dividends, not only in your professional life, but your personal life.
True that, absolutely. I'm sure my wife will be very happy to listen to this one.
Excellent. And so, if you are there some examples of how you are operationalizing how you're listening more within your organization?
So this journey of listening actually started again with a lot of the coaching that's coming in on the active listening part. I think when you are actually investing time in asking people the right questions and then being patient enough when they are answering, I think the listening ability just goes to a whole new level,
Hmm.
right? And
When you're engaged, it makes a huge.
absolutely, the word is engaged, and I think there's an appreciation on both sides of the table, right? And there is a lot more
Hmm.
to understand about the opposite person. So yeah, I mean, it's if I may say so, it's work in progress,
Hmm.
and I'm hoping that I keep getting better at it as we move forward.
Absolutely. Anytime you're able to marry the nonverbals in an experience, even if you're on a platform like Zoom or Teams, where you're able to see the other person and you're able to see their response and how they're feeling. And then you're able to ask more detailed questions.
That changes a whole lot, right? Asking the right and the
It really
detailed
does.
questions changes
It
a whole
really
lot.
does. It really does. Is there anything else, Rashesh, that you'd like to share today?
So, Shara, I've always been more about wanting to give. And I truly believe that in this journey as an entrepreneur, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from the people that I've worked with. I've learned a lot from the clients. I've learned a lot from the networks that I have built. And I'm very, very high and passionate about networking. And if anyone really finds this conversation interesting and would like to reach out to me, I would be more than happy to just get into a conversation, play the sounding board, and share my insights in terms of what I've learned. And of course, I'm in India, a country
Mm-hmm.
which the world is looking at. And if there is anything that anybody who's listening to this podcast wants in India, look me up on LinkedIn, connect with me. I'm happy to be of any assistance you want. I have a network, and that network is most likely going to be able to solve any challenge that you have in India.
Excellent, Rashesh. How can our listeners find you?
So I am available, very active on LinkedIn by my name, Rashesh Doshi. If one goes through my website, which is www.talentcorner.in, you can find my email ID and my mobile number. I promise that anyone wanting to reach out to me, if you reach out to me, I will respond. And that's a promise.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today, Rashesh.
It's a pleasure, Sarah.
Here are the three key takeaways from today's discussion. People first, partnership drives success. Rashesh emphasizes calling franchisees partners with robust training and a dedicated support team with a ratio of 4-1. Also, partners can focus on client service, not just sales. Global scaling with a local touch. Talent Corner is intentionally moving into developing markets first. Think UAE, Africa, Vietnam, matching their unique model to the needs of small and medium enterprises around the world. Transformation equals teamwork. Rather than leading change alone, Rashesh formed a 14-person transformation team, including franchise partners, to drive new initiatives and ensure everyone's ownership in the company's evolution. If you're looking for inspiration on scaling a people-centric business or want to connect with Rashesh about growing in India or international markets, by all means, you can find him on LinkedIn or at talentcorner.in. Thanks so much for listening today. Subscribe and never miss an episode.